very strategic acquisitions that lend to your primary business and you're growing by acquisition. So that's your strategy. What lessons have you learned that have been great? Like what one or two lessons have you learned that have been very, very powerful? And what one or two lessons have you learned that you would continue to avoid?
That's a great question. It reminds me of one transaction that I did forget about that was in 2020. You'll understand why I forgot about it here in a second, because it was probably one of the biggest lessons. This was a company that did not fit my model. It was a company that was in Denver, Colorado, so quite a distance from me, and the focus was social media content creation. So if you think of a company that needed somebody to create content and post it on social, it
Yeah.
was an outsourced business model.
Right. Got you.
And it was high retainer, certainly compared to web. So you had retainers between $1,200 and $3,000.
Mm-hmm.
It had it had its own brand, and it had two W-2 employees with it. It was 100% recurring revenue, though, and it had monthly recurring revenue. The MMR was probably around $20,000.
Okay.
It was decent size by my standards, and the owner was taking a different tack. They were not retiring, but they were focusing on a different business venture. She had tried to rehome this for someone else. It didn't work out. I had just reached out as a follow up, and I caught wind of this, and I said, "Hey, I'm interested. Let's talk." And then that's a great place to be when someone has already tried. So, what were your terms with that person? Because that's kind of, you have a benchmark for what they were willing to accept. So it was a no money down, 100% earnout model. And I'm like, boy, Christmas is coming early here. To acquire $20,000 of recurring revenue for zero
For nothing.
down
Yeah.
was like, all right, it's not a service line I know about, but it comes with staff. The numbers are looking good. Why wouldn't I try this?
I like where this is going as a great lesson.
So
Sometimes things are too good to be true.
that's true. And didn't do a lot of due diligence because I'm like, I've got nothing to risk. But so we finalized the deal on January 1st, whatever year that was. I had never met anybody. I didn't fly out. This was during the pandemic. Uh, well, this thing was shedding clients leading into this, and it continued to do so. So long story short, by about May, so 5 months in, it was still shedding clients.
Yeah.
These clients were looking at this like, is this a need? And it really
Mhm.
was not a service that was moving the needle. And so some of them brought it in-house. Rate would have been a take back. So I said, I'm making my earnout payments here, but I'm not taking anything.